everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and you're tuned in to Madden 18 on EA.
All right, Larry, we are due east from our nation's capital at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Baltimore Ravens and the Washington Redskins. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the inline. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback out of Michigan State. The former Spartan, it's Kirk Cousins.
Forget the measurables. His temperament, which is so even-keeled, often masks a burning desire to win and perform. This guy takes it seriously when he lines up to play, and usually he puts on a nice performance.
This is Kelly, and he will force his way forward for a yard or two, but I have a good feeling this will be coming back.
Holding offense.
That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And his first pass is incomplete. He was looking for Jamison Crowder there. And it's second down. And they're going to go soft on the corners. This is the first carry for Rob Kelly. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a third down and long. And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on second down. Third and long for Cousins. And this one is incomplete.
Trust me, Brandon, I'm not about to try and take your job. I can't do what you do. But that wasn't just 3 and out. That felt like 3 and backwards.
That's exactly what it was. You can have my job whenever you want it. The drive that you're looking for, though, probably going forward. Bad start to the ball game.
Yeah, not the way to get things going.
Oh, shifty. Whoa. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. A good pick up there of 20 yards. Now a carry here for Terrence West. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
Partner, I think a lot of people thought that Baltimore would draft at least one runner. In fact, they didn't take any skill position players in the draft. So I think a lot's still going to fall on Terrence West.
Well, he did have over 1,000 yards from scrimmage last year, a career high. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Here's West. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a third and about 5. The first carry for the vet, Danny Woodhead. And he showcased the spin, but couldn't do much else as he's wrangled down. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a fourth down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this third down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swore. stopped them for almost no gain.
So we're going to have a challenge. Remember, last year the tablet was introduced. Most people seem to be happy with how that went, so it's back for 2018.
Yeah, and I thought it helped speed up the process a little bit, to be honest with you. I thought it was terrific that they were able to get that done. Anything you can do to take some of the lulls out of the game and keep it moving, both for the players and, of course, for fan interest, I'm in favor of it.
And for us, too.
No doubt.
And not great starting field position here for the offense. And no press coverage here. They are backing off in the secondary. Well, the drive starts with Rob Kelly. And a nice pickup as this one gets him to the 10-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
And that run, that changes the whole mentality about the drive right there. They were starting on their own 2-yard line. They just wanted enough space to punt the football successfully. Now they're talking about putting together a drive.
They'll go again with Kelly. And he's going to be taken down here at about the 10. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And now the Ravens are going to take another timeout. And that's their 2nd charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. Now Kelly running left, and he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs, and let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
Again, this is Kelly. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. So that one will get him halfway to the 1st down marker. 7 yards makes it 3rd and 7 now.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. C.J. Mosley in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast, and a big sack. Campanaro on the return. Still shedding tackles. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. They go play action here on 1st down. And it's hauled in by Ben Watson. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore 1st down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to swing the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Now it's Flacco. Going to throw right side here. Complete. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Red zone opportunity. They'll run it with West. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. And my goodness, they're now out of timeouts here in this first quarter. On the ground, it's West again. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Terrence West, a 9-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens have taken the early lead. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So out now come the Redskins. And this is their third drive. Maybe the focus right now not so much on points, but getting their first down.
And when you start off a game, you don't even think that's an issue, do you? But you go a drive, a second drive, no first down, that becomes an issue. Now you got to think about, okay, what type of play calling do I have to do to get us in a spot to pick that first one up? We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. It's a pickup of 6, but it's not going to be enough. And the punt team's going to be summoned on 4th down.
But once again, a good example of situational football. That was 3rd and very long, so you know they were guarding against the pass. And when they decided to run the ball, that was okay. Whatever yardage they picked up, as long as they didn't get to the first down marker, the defense was willing to concede, and they stopped them well short of a first down.
A great return there of 22 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. And now here come the Ravens. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A really nice gain of 25 yards. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
An incomplete, crisis averted, almost picked. Instead, 2nd down.
I know in every game we do, we talk about momentum. That was a momentum play lost. And now there could be a letdown because they didn't get the interception.
Yeah, you could almost hear the collective gasp on the sideline as he could not come up with that football.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Terrence West with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Ravens will extend their lead. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
They'll start on the ground with Kelly. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game. No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
Off the play fake, Cousins. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now Campanero. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go up and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you score points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A good pickup there, a 22. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
2nd and 10. Flacco once more. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. The tight end, Max Williams, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. Flacco fakes the give. Sets to throw. Complete to Gilmore, the tight end. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Crockett Gilmore, 43 yards. And the Ravens will add on to their lead. And nowadays in NFL football, you have to account for all the receivers, sure, but the tight end's such a weapon, and they prove it right there.
Oh, without a doubt. And we're seeing now the golden age of tight ends catching the football. I go back to Kellen Winslow. To me, he was a prototype of what we're seeing today. We're seeing it each and every week now.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. Out to the left here to Reed. And he gets this one just shy of the 40 to mark it down at the 39. Cousins to his big target. Reed and the Redskins have a 1st down. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races. That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And his pass, incomplete. Jordan Reed was the intended target, and it's 3rd down. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
And this is going to be incomplete.
You got to give some credit there, able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give him some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
And some room to roam now. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Terrence West doing it again with his third touchdown here in the opening quarter. And the Ravens will extend their lead. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again,
and again.
and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one.
And he's into the clear. And all the way down to the 26. A huge play there for Washington. 49 yards on the ground. And you hear it all the time, but that's one of the dangers of the blitz. You get past that first wave, nobody else is there.
And when teams blitz, what they're trying to do is make you lose your poise, lose your timing and your tempo. But when you hold it together, you can really hurt them the other way.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Chris Wormley in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely, he's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. They'll hand it off to Kelly. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he's going to be taken down, but not before reaching the 15-yard line. That's good for 22 and a first down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played. Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Tyus Bowser with a big-time sack on third down. And it'll be a loss of 7.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now, prior to the snap, we hit all zeros. Back live, Charles Davis to my right. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Redskin football to begin quarter number 2. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. And Hopkins' kick is good. And that drops a deficit from 28 to 25. So it's a 7-play drive, but it stalls out in the end.
Let's credit the defensive front 7. They were a little leaky at the start of the drive, but they stiffened toward the end.
To return, here's Michael Campanero. And now running right through it. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
A good pickup there, a 22.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch it.
Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Pass interference. Defense.
And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple of seconds mulling over what the penalty would do for them?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
And he puts it through. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And here come the Redskins now. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
Well, with the kind of half he's had, I think we can forgive him that run, right? Not every run's going to be a big play, is it?
No, and also the blocking just wasn't there. No room to run.
Yeah, defensively, they got to find a way to build on that because he's eating them alive in the first half.
Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
In today's NFL, when you get teams in long yardage situations with your defense, you're really going to go to your speed packages. You're going to get smaller, lighter guys on the field in order to cover the expected pass. So they might want to run the ball against a smaller, lighter lineup with your big guys, and that's exactly what happened on that play. It was tough on them, and now instead of being in 3rd and very long, they ended up setting themselves up in 3rd and manageable. They've got a chance at a first down.
And they'll get 14 yards out of it and a fresh set of downs.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Cousins. Josh Doxson's got it complete. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing. And they got it done.
Jordan Reed has it. And he is knocked down and then landed on pretty awkwardly. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why they look lethargic, out of sync, and this shows on the scoreboard.
And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there, because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let him down a little bit.
And allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff it. And this is hauled in by Pryor for a Redskin touchdown. Terrell Pryor, 26 yards. And the Redskins are able to cut into that deficit.
I know what the scoreboard says here, but for all those who are playing fantasy football, their scoreboards are different. Points scored could benefit someone.
Offside. Defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Oh, and now he bowls him over. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. And he's brought down. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Gets around him. They find some open field here. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Terrence West on his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Ravens continue to pour it on. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
A good pick up there, 26 yards. They run with it. It's Khaled, and he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
On Play action. Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. But the Redskins look to get this one back, and indeed they did. It's still Washington football. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity. Well, we quit counting yardage on that one, didn't we? That was truly 3rd and a mile, wasn't it?
It was. I thought they might just go underneath, but they didn't. They wanted to get the first down there.
Yeah, they tried to pick up the huge chunk unsuccessfully. I'm with you. I would have tried to take some yardage just to gain some field position.
And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Play action. Flacco. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's 2nd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense, that that fell harmlessly to the ground. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give him 17 on that pickup. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
West with a quick feed, and he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
This is West, able to slither by. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Now West. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
On first down, they go with Dixon. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31. Defensively, they rally quickly after the broken tackle. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels. Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
They'll toss it to Woodhead. And an alley to run. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Danny Woodhead, 30 yards. And the Ravens add on. So they went to the ground game on third, hoping to pick up the first. They also picked up a touchdown.
Offensive linemen so used in this situation to having a pass block. All right, you're looking at what it is, third down. They don't care that it's third and whatever. They figure they're going to throw the ball. And when you call a running play, I think you energize them. I think you juice them up because I haven't met offensive linemen yet that likes to pass block more than they like to run block. And they opened up some nice holes there for him, and he took it to the house.
Kirk Cousins now gearing up to lead this offense back out there. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little...
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Kamale Correa in there to record another sack, their 6th of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
On the run, it's Kelly. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up.
And there's a nice stop for the defense. They've had a tough time containing this guy all game long, but maybe they can build a little bit off of that play, a little bit of confidence, a little bit of momentum. Yeah, every now and then you can actually tackle that guy.
Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and that just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This will be fielded at the 17.
Whoosh.
Touchdown, Ravens.
Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there. A punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wind up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, and sometimes that just happens. It is the NFL. They will make some plays against you.
Cousins looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Kelly, and he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Give him 6 on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Now Joe Flacco and the offense heading back out onto the field. He's been in a pretty good groove. They actually have more yards on the ground than through the air, but both have been good, pretty balanced.
And have we ever met a coach when we've talked to him before a game that hasn't mentioned wanting to be balanced?
No, because then you've got both sides hitting the defense. They don't know what to expect, right?
It really helps your play calling, because now you're in a position where you're confident in either one, either aspect of the game. Dial it up and let it go. And so far, that's allowed them to lead.
Absolutely. Have the lead here in the second quarter. Incomplete on first down. Now Flacco on second. Open man left side is Wallace, complete. 16 yards on that one and a Raven first. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes. When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
And he'll be marked down deep in Washington territory. That goes for a gain of 31.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield, But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
A red zone first down for Flacco. Right side catch, Gilmore. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to FedEx Field following this short break. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will have the highlights and analysis of this first half from our studios in Orlando.
And I have a fairly solid...
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Mike Wallace from 13 yards out. And the Ravens continue to pour it on.
Man, he just ran a terrific route. Extremely hard to defend when it's run that precisely and the ball's delivered that accurately.
Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with him punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers.
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. But the Redskins look to get this one back, and indeed they did. It's still Washington football. But call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill, or the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground. Whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for. But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them, they've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing. And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Well, as an offense, you know, some drives you have it, some drives you don't. And this one looks like a you don't. Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, it was 3rd and long. It was screaming for a pass. I think they tried to outguess them there with the running play. They didn't fool him at all. Went in the wrong direction. And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. Might he be on his way to a record-setting performance here, Charles? 2nd quarter, and the yardage number already ridiculous. And they always talk about just focusing on the next play. But sometimes it's okay to dream big because
I'm focusing on the 4th quarter already.
Listen, I don't blame you, though, because we could be witnessing some type of history here, and it's being done by him and, of course, the big guys up front who are creating the holes for him to run through.
Yeah, they've all been good so far. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Ravens out in front as we send you down to Orlando where we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Larry.
Okay, Brandon, thanks, and welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get to the highlights. The Redskins have been worked over in the first half and trail big right now. The Ravens took control of the game, and unless something drastic changes, it seems like they might be able to coast to victory. So let's take a look at the highlights from the first half. Now midway through the first, West is going to take it off the left edge, and he caps off the 2-play drive with the score. As they get out to a 7-0 lead. Midway through the first, they run it here with Terrence West. And a quick three-play drive ends with a score. Ravens up now by 14. Ravens have it midway through the first. Flacco finding his mark in coverage. And it ends up working for a touchdown. Ravens on 2nd and 7. The Ravens up now by 21. West is able to get clear of the defense, and he'll take this all the way for a touchdown. 3rd down from inside the 30. Pryor's got the reception, and he capped off the long drive with a touchdown. Ravens line up at the 36. Redskins trail by 25. West is able to get clear of everybody. And a quick three-play drive ends with a score about halfway through the second. As the blowout continues, Woodhead's going to break into the secondary, and he capped off the long drive with a TD. Ravens way in front. Now so late in the second. Moss is wide open, able to make the grab. And this 5-play drive goes for a touchdown. The points coming easy today.
All right, Larry, indeed a one-sided affair to this point as we get set for half 2. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the 2nd half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is, don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. They look to throw on 1st and 10 with Flacco. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
And the shuffle pass to the running back goes for no yardage, but they used to call that the Utah pass, made famous by Coach Cactus Jack Curtis and his quarterback, Lee Grosscup.
Finds his man, Watson, over the middle. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore 1st down. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 250 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over.
Same result as last play, 14 yards and another 1st down. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed in the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense. 3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Flacco off play action. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. So the numbers have been good in the passing game and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
The Raven passing game getting in sync. Another 1st down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Terrence West, a 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Ravens add on.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes. Carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Now Cousins setting up the screen to Kelly. And give him 9 yards on the second down screen play.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Cousins on 3rd and 2. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And the Ravens have got it. And a defensive-minded coach loves to turn up the heat, turns it up there, it pays off.
And back in the good old days, those defensive-minded coaches just talked about intimidating teams, using force, right, beating them to the punch. And this case, they're talking about creating turnovers. That's all they preach all game long, all practice long, every meeting. Get the football. That's what they want.
Throw left side complete. That's West. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Terrence West taking it in from a yard out. And the Ravens have used the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So out now come the Redskins. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up.
Partner, I think there's a lesson there. Some days you're just having a really tough time, and for the defense, today has been that day. But after that play, what do you learn? You can still make plays even when the other guy's having success against you.
And his throw here's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. On 3rd down, Cousins. And that is incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And out will come the offense as they take over. Joe Flacco and company heading back out onto the field. He has been on his A game. We're in the third quarter. He's already in search of touchdown pass number 5.
He's played so well that it's hard for me to take my eyes off of him, even when he's not on the field. I keep finding my eyes finding him on the bench in between series, wondering what he's going to do next. This has been a blast to watch him play the position.
He's been spectacular with those 4 touchdown passes. Now Flacco. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Wallace. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And now he's closing in on 450 yards passing.
That's an incredible number. I mean, you're talking about the best defenders in the world that you're trying to throw the ball against, and you're creating that type of a number. Fantastic job, fantastic performance. And he's going to have to ice up his arm afterwards, too.
It's a gain of 5, and it'll make it 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to...
Down the numbers. There he goes. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Crockett Gilmore, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Ravens continue to pour it on.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the...
Kelly stripped. The ball is free. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do. Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down. That fits the bill.
They go play action. Cousins. A deep ball for Dotson. And it's knocked away and incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Josh Doxson. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. So a 2nd down incompletion now brings up 3rd down. They'll try and run for it with Kelly. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take it the distance, but a short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't it?
They'll keep it in the hands of Kelly, and he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
They run a draw here on 2nd down. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
And that's one of the few times they've been able to contain him. He's had a heck of a game, and maybe he's getting a little bit tired from how many times he's carried the ball. But I always think back to what all those old coaches say. The ball's not that heavy. Keep carrying it, kid.
And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is.
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. Past the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And here's the Ravens defense as they head back out there now. And they had the fumble return for a touchdown, and boom, they're right back out there again.
And you hear so many people talk about opportunistic defenses in today's football. Well, they make their own breaks because they work at it all the time. We've been at the practices, the drills where they're trying to strip the football, the takeaways. They're always working on it, and it paid off for them on the last possession.
Paid off. Now can they do it again? Second down, Cousins. And his throw is incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Cousins to throw it. And this is going to be incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. The drive begins with a handoff to West. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it. They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And now running right through it. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Flacco. He's going to look deep for Perriman. It's caught at the 10. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Rashad Perriman, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Ravens add on. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary passes.
Back now at FedEx Field, where the fourth quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the third quarter. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And here come the Redskins now. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to something else.
And maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And the head coach reaches for the red flag, tosses it down on the field. He wants a challenge here. Seven yards to go on second down. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And that is incomplete. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Campanaro on the return. Oh, nice spin.
Oh, that brought back bad memories.
Oh, and now he bowls him over. He's still barreling through. Might have been one man away from 6 points. As it stands, it's a huge return. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. First and 10, and Flacco looking to throw. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
That's into the hands of Wallace over the middle. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
And you know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Everyone dialed in. Passing play. Flacco got his man complete over the middle. That's Wallace. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Flacco hooking up with Wallace for a Raven first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long, with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart, and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up first and goal now. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Throw left side complete. It's Wallace. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Mike Wallace with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Ravens continue to pour it on. So another score there. Often you talk about the three phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. Here comes Kirk Cousins now to lead his offense back out there. And the passing game, I mean, look at the numbers. It's fallen off. When a team is struggling, sometimes you look at the quarterback. When the quarterback starts to struggle, who goes over and picks him up?
Yeah, that's always a big one, isn't it? Usually, there's a quarterback whisperer somewhere. And what I mean by that is, whether it's an assistant coach, whether it's one of his best friends on the team, someone that can get in his ear, get with him and say, all right, my man, what do you need? What's going on here? So there's one person he can lean on. He's going to have to lean on that guy right now.
Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. His throw incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
To throw is Cousins. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Ravens, they'll take over.
Double tight, guys, double tight.
They start on the ground with West. Big hold of the 30. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Terrence West, 83 yards. And the Ravens add on.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is one of our guys.
But she's singing too.
No, she's at least...
She's on like the 5th tune at this point.
She left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
To throw, Cousins. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Terrell Pryor that time. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
Well, they're slinging it. And then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. Here's Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
Well, that was a big oops right there. But how about his ability to correct it? Loses the football, able to get it back himself.
Yeah, pounced right back on it, keeps possession. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now Campanaro. Look at the spin.
Balance. Another miss.
Still on his feet. An excellent return that time. 26 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And the Ravens taking the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2000...
And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he'll be marked down deep in Washington territory. That one goes for 36 yards. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers.
Delay of game, offense.
So that'll back them up 5. First and goal. Defense with their backs against the wall. Now a handoff here to his running back. Spins past another.
Oh, my man.
And give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a second and goal.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Second and goal from the 7. They'll run again here with West. He gets this down to the 3, but no further. Brought the great move out of the bag, but couldn't do a ton with it. And before they can run this third down play, we're going to get a timeout. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this fourth quarter. A big play to start the drive got him in this position, but this defense has held firm since, and now it's third and goal. Here's Flacco. And Perriman's got it for a Raven touchdown. Brashad Perriman from 3 yards out, and the Ravens continue to pour it on.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know that plenty of people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time. Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
On third down, that's Thompson, and he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be fourth down.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
Oh, he shifts past him. Shedding the tackle, and it gives him some room. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And Charles, in a very one-sided affair, I think we've reached the point in the broadcast where you and I, we may have some filling to do, right?
Yeah, I think you're right about that because we got to try and keep people around. We don't want them to change the channel. Stay with us in this game. Is that Ben Ramsar? Are you hearing from Ben on the headset here? Tell us, stretch this thing out a little bit.
Get some talking points. Dig them all out.
That's what you get. A big-time producer. Keep them here.
Second and 10. Flacco once more. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked the ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's third down now. The Ravens on third down. They've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. This is 3rd and 10. Flacco fakes the give, sets to throw. Complete to Gilmore, the tight end. They convert on third with a gain of 22. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Over the middle, complete. That's Wallace. That goes for a gain of 31. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Terrence West, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens add on. And, partner, are you kidding me? With this game that he's having, we are in uncharted waters like we've never seen before.
Just think, if he keeps every football from all the touchdowns scored today, does he need to build a new trophy room at home?
Yeah. A couple trophy rooms. Maybe a whole home for trophy room.
What a phenomenal performance, and I'll guarantee you he's going to reward the rest of the offensive unit after this as well for helping him get to this number.
He better. This is just unreal. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Kamale Correa in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. It's been that kind of a day so far throwing the football. It just seems like nothing going right offensively.
Yeah, it's a catch that should have been made, pure and simple. And look, everything else that goes into running a good pass route, throw it all out if you don't catch the ball.
Been that kind of game throwing the football so far. Nothing going right offensively. This is brought in at the 21. A good return there, 17 yards. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Here's Flacco. Looking left side. That's caught by Macklin. And he's going to get this inside the 30. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now Flacco, and he'll go right back to Macklin. It's complete again. And a big collision there as he winds up flat on his back. 18 yards on each of the last 2 plays, and they're picking up big chunks now. This offense can certainly move quickly when they want to. 3 plays, 3 pass completions, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? No. I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's going. She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
A drive there of just 4 plays. And it's capped off with a Ravens Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And his throw is going to be incomplete. So they're behind the chains as the offense. 12 yards needed on third down. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And unable to connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. Fielded at the 20. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good. Oh,
it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL, that's a big-time accomplishment, and to do it this convincingly, that just tears up the script that every home team has, which is nobody comes into our house and pushes us around. They took care of business today.
Yeah, they pushed around, and now the final stages of this one. Setting up to throw, Flacco. And now running right through it. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. The Ravens on third down. Can't fault these numbers. 7 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we sign off from Landover.